Hello, hello. May peace and blessings be with you. It is my pleasure to have the awesome April Childers with me today. She is such a blessing to my life. I'm so grateful for her friendship and having her as a mentor that I look up to. She is so amazing in empowering other women. It's just such a blessing. I April, I'm gonna just introduce you real quick, and then we'll ask some questions.
Okay.
Okay. So April is helping women build their dream life by creating their goals that are fully aligned with their values. Because April, I'm personally so passionate about this, the work that you're doing as well. So it just brings me so much joy seeing you do this work and pouring into other people. So welcome. And do you want to let us know a little bit about yourself, how you got started with this, and why you're doing this work?
Well, thank you. And the feeling is mutual. I have such a love and admiration for Timmy since, when we met, it's just been love at first sight. And we have been, kind of instigators or supporters of each other, however you want to look at it. Like Timmy said, my name's April. I live in Middle Tennessee with my husband and our dog Mavis and our cat Minnie. I am retired military. I spent 20 years in the Navy, and I am a military spouse. My husband spent 25 years in the military. We have two grown daughters, two granddaughters, and just enjoying life at this point. As far as why I'm doing this, I am in a situation where I am truly living my dream life, and I want every woman to do that. And it's funny that we talk about so many things, but somehow we get lost in the shuffle of what are our values and what are the values that maybe society has placed on us or our families have placed on us. I think we kind of lose sight of our values, and if we're not aligned with our values, we're never going to get to our dream life, whatever that might look like for us, because we're not in alignment.
Mhm. April, you look so beautiful, so put together. I feel like I look like a pastry shop today.
You're so funny. You're always gorgeous.
I had a training to record with our team this morning, and I was running late, and I was like, okay, what can I put on that I don't need to iron? So this hijab, the scarf came to mind. I was like, all right, it'll go. We'll make it work.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, so if our friends are here with us live, definitely say hello. Let us know you're here. And as you comment, be sure to allow StreamYard access to your profile so that your name and your photo comes through so we know who we're speaking with. If you're catching the replay, definitely use hashtag replay to let us know. Send us some love. We are excited to see your comments and have you with us. Okay. So, April, I do you want to talk about how you and I met? Do you want to get into that a little bit? Because that's a pretty cool story.
Sure. We went to a beach retreat. It's a women's business retreat. And we just clicked. I mean, you find people that you really connect with, and we sat down. I'll never forget, this house was like 3 stories, and we sat down on the bottom level and just had a really great conversation of, being open and honest with each other. Some of my questions were curiosity questions, but we just really connected. And like I said, we've been supporters and lovers of each other since. But it was such a great environment to be around women. It was a small group of women. I think there was 8 or 9 of us, and we just got to share our dreams and our what the possibilities were. And when you're around in a group like that, in a group of women who we think bigger, we dream bigger, and when you can see yourself in the other person's eyes, because you're looking at them and you're like, oh, they're so great, they're mirroring that back to you. And it's so powerful.
Mhm. April, I very much remember that conversation. I felt so heard and so seen, in that moment, even though it was like a short conversation, but I think we really bonded through
Mhm.
that. And I also will give you a shout out that I was almost a stranger to you at that point, and I had flown into the airport near the place. It was probably like an hour or so away. You and Cindy came. You were driving by, and you actually picked me up from the airport, so I wouldn't have to take a Uber or something. And I was just like, that is so kind of you. And I really think that's the kind of person you are. You really, always wanting to pour into people and help people. Whenever you see a woman, a sister struggling through something, you're there to lend a hand. You're there to lend your shoulder so that they can really, get things sorted out. So I so admire that about you. So beautiful.
Thank you. You're so sweet. And some of that came from my time in the military because you had, I mean, our job was to take care of our junior sailors, and you saw some of the things that especially the females were going through. And I remember when I was a junior sailor, I had, one of my chiefs, one of my officers, take me and like teach me things that really wasn't in the realm of what was normal, but it was they made sure that they kind of plucked me out of the crowd and said, "Look, we want you to see this. We want you to understand the thinking behind some of the decisions." And I had my female officer. She was like, "You know what?" She explained something to me why something one of our sailors was denied their request. And she went through and she explained this to me, how it affected the command and everything. And I was like, "Well, ma'am, I mean, you don't owe me an explanation." She said, "I want you to understand some of the things that go into the decisions." She said, "Because you're going to be in leadership one way or the other, whether it's in the chief's mess or in the wardroom, you're going to be in leadership, and you need to understand some of the things that, go into these decisions." And that just meant so much to me. And, since retiring, I think there's so many, and I'm not discounting men. I'm not a man hater, nothing like that. But there's so many things out there for men. And I think as a woman, it's our duty. We have a duty to each other that to support each other. That saying, it's like, be the kind of woman that straightens another woman's crown without saying anything about it, you know, saying anything to anybody else. So that's our privilege and our honor to be able to help our sisters and to support them and to give them the tools that have been given to us, or in some cases haven't been given to us. We just had to find out the hard way.
Mhm. I love it. And April, tell me, why do you feel it's so important to get your life aligned with where you want to go? Why is it so important to you? Like, what in your own life has basically, made you do that?
Whew, we don't have that kind of time. But, throughout my life, I have had struggles. I didn't go in the military till I was 28. I had a very unique childhood. And, a lot of the stuff I learned the hard way. I just didn't have that guidance from what we think, where we think it should come from. So it came from relationships that I built, some from people that I trusted and that worked out. Some people, it was from people that I trusted and it didn't work out. So, life kind of teaches you lessons along the way. And right now, I'm closer to 60 than I am to 50. And I believe in my heart that God did not bring me through all of that just for me. So the lessons that I've learned through my life, I know that I can take those and uh, help somebody else. Maybe save them a little time, save a little heartache, and help them kind of find their way. Because I think as we get older, we kind of figure out a little bit more about who we are, and sometimes we don't. But I am also in direct sales. I'm an entrepreneur, so the company that I'm with is very much about personal development. And that has really helped me over the last almost 4 years to really find out, like, who I really am. And now that I'm figuring that out, as I'm figuring that out, I feel like I'm more aligned with who I'm supposed to be, and that has really helped me with the vision of where I wanna go. Because if we don't know where we're going, it's like going to the store. If you don't know which store you're going to, how are you gonna get there?
Mhm,
We have to have that, we have to have that roadmap, and we have to, and it adjust, you know?
mhm.
If that road's closed, then we'll take another one.
Yeah. April, what I love about you is that you don't really take like the cookie cutter approach at all, right? I've seen you work with women, help other women, and you really help bring out their own individuality, right? Their own gifts, their own brilliance as you're working with them. So you have like your way, your process where you're saying, if you do this, you will be successful. If people just do that, they will be successful. But you actually take it a step further and you say, here's my plan, but you don't have to adopt my plan as is, right? Bring you into the mix, right?
Mhm.
Actually figure out what your gifts are, what your values are, and how you can utilize those to really, build that dream life. Because I feel like none of us are, exactly the same. We're not duplicates. There are skills and talents that overlap within us, but each one of us is so unique. And I think that our dream life for each one of us is also very unique. And I think so many times, like, we don't even want to envision what that looks like, right? We're just kind of like, going through the motion, checking the boxes every day. And I feel like we all need to wake up and live.
Yes, definitely. And it's so funny you say that because, and that's why I start with values because just like I said earlier, it's some of us don't even know what our values are because they've been given to us. And that's the first thing we need to examine is whose values are you living by? Do you even know anymore? Sometimes it gets kind of lost in the shuffle. We take on things around us. We take on our family's values. We take on our spouses or significant others' values, you know. But each plan has to be individualized because we are all individuals. I mean, right now, my dream life, I live on 93 acres out in the middle of nowhere. That is not for everybody. I was just in Chicago for a few days with a friend of mine I'd been stationed with, and she's been retired for about a year and she's not working. And right now, that is her dream life because she just needed a little time to kind of stop and just be. And we had talked about that while I was up there, and, I've got, friends that call me and say, "Are you lonely?" She's like, "Nope, not lonely yet." So, I mean, and that's what I want. I want when I say dream life, I want everyone in their head to picture what that looks like. In some cases, it's still working. I mean, like you and I, part of our dream life is still working, but it's doing work that comes from our heart, not because we have to pay the bills. And that makes a huge difference.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like, I think I've had to do a lot of work to get to this point, and I'm continuing to do the work, right? So that I stay aligned going forward too. But it is just such a blessing to wake up every morning feeling energized, right? That I am here, I'm going to make a difference, I'm going to, make somebody else's life better. And in turn, my life is getting so blessed, right? So I'm just, I feel like I use the hashtag living the dream all the time. So that's how I literally feel, right? Every day I wake up, I feel like I'm living the dream. And what a gift that is that you get to spend the rest of your life like that. Every day you feel that way, right? Does 100% of everything that you do every day, is that aligned? Probably not. But as long as, there are parts of it that are super aligned,
Mhm.
we feel so fueled to, to give and to pour into other people and to just, build and do the things. It's
Yes.
just so amazing.
Yes, definitely. And when we're not aligned, we feel it. As women, we're very intuitive. And, whether it's something, and we use it for other people, like, if something's wrong with our kids or, a friend, we know it. We can feel it. We can hear it in their voice. But sometimes we don't do that to ourselves. We have those, whether it's a gut, intuition, seventh sense, sixth sense, whatever you want to call it. We all have it, and we just need to, because when we're not in alignment, we can feel that, and we're out of sorts. Something's wrong. You wake up some mornings and you're like, "Ooh, just ooh, something. I feel kind of yucky today." You really got to look at that and say, "Why? Why do I have that feeling? Where is that coming from?" So, and we know, we're women. We always know.
Like, for real, like, I've totally lived many years of my life not in alignment, right? Where I was very, when I remember when I first got started, I was so ambitious. I was so like, I want to, climb the corporate ladder, and these are my goals. This is what I'm going to do. Years later, when I look at that, I was like, what was that all about? Like, was I really truly living how I wanted to live? Was I being true to myself? Was I being authentic? Were those my values, right? And the answer was no to many things. So I was like, okay, what am I doing here? So had to have a total shift.
Mhm.
And it's I'm just so grateful for that. April, do you have a resource for us if we're not sure, what our values are? Do you have a resource for us?
I do. I have a values assessment of that. We're going to give your listeners or your people of a free resource, so you can just download that and take. It's a short quiz. I won't even call it a test. It's a quiz, and it's going to just kind of pinpoint some of the areas in your life. This isn't like a 10-hour thing. This is, will take you all of maybe 10 minutes, but you're really going to get something out of it. And then we're going to send you like a breakdown of each area and like, where are your values? And, look at that and then look at your life. Are those two aligned? And if they're not, what can you do to, the things that are your values, your top value. So what can you do to kind of adjust your life? And we've talked about this, like on weekends. Sunday is my family day. I don't work on Sunday. And I'm getting better. I mean, sometimes it's hard, but yes, it's because you're playing on the computer. You're like, oh, I'll just do this little work thing here real quick. And I'm really trying hard not to do that. So, but that's our family day. And like a few weeks ago, we went to Dominican with our grown children. So my life at this point is about experiences. I get so much joy of planning experiences for our family, and because family is a huge value for me. And because, I mean, we don't know how long we're going to be here. So, we have to find our joy, find our values, and find our joy in those values.
April, I can just totally see the joy in you as you are even describing, you're living your dream life. It's so amazing.
Yeah. And you know what? Everybody deserves to live their dream life, whatever that means to you. And, my request, plea, whatever you want to call it, to everyone out there listening to this, I want you to just take a minute, sit in a quiet place, turn the phone off, turn the TV off, whatever you're doing, and just think about your dream life. We all, as little girls, had little girl dreams, whether it's to marry a prince, a princess, whatever, but really put some thought, listen to your heart, be still and listen to your heart. And what are your dreams? The saddest conversation I ever had, one lady told me, "Well, I don't have dreams for myself. My dreams are for my kids." And without even thinking, I said, "That is so sad." And then afterwards, I was like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that." But think about your dreams. Think about your dream life. And then look at your real life and just see, how far off am I? And what steps do I have to do to to align that and to start, aligning into that dream life. And it's not about money because people say, "Oh, I don't have the money to have a dream life." It's not about money. It's about doing what you love, following your heart, and being a blessing to yourself and being a blessing to others.
Mhm. I really feel that as women, we have to prioritize us, right? We must do that. And we cannot be at the bottom of our own list. I feel like we have to be at the top of our own list. And I completely agree with you about, money. I feel like if we are living in alignment with our values, money comes, right? Money, I feel like money becomes like the byproduct of that. It's not the thing you're seeking. But I also want to share that how good you are, April, in helping people create their financial goals, right? And help them with a blueprint of how to accomplish those goals, right? It's even though, we understand that money is not the thing that we're, striving for, it's just a byproduct. But still, if you're not meeting your financial goals, if you're not there yet, April is also able to help you figure out what that is. What is your yearly income? What does that look like? What is your pathway to getting to that? Are you doing that? Are you doing it in a way that is aligned with your values or not, right? How can you shift a few things and get in alignment? So it's like I'm just so impressed by what you do. It's just so amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, because, a dream life doesn't accidentally happen. And, when I tell you that money won't buy you happiness, it will not. But what it will do is give you choices. And when it comes to a dream life, choices are a lot of what is rolled into our dream life. So, and as women, we go through so many financial challenges in our life. We go from leaving our parents' home, getting out on our own. Sometimes we go straight from our parents' home into a marriage or a relationship. Some of us have gone through a divorce, and that is financially, you're like starting over. So, I mean, but we have to really look at that and say, you know what, I'm not going to allow someone else to be in control of my money and my finances, my future. I'm going to take control of this, and I'm going to take the steps to get my financial uh, uh, foundation set up, because we have to build that foundation so we can build our dream life. So, yes, I'm very passionate about that because, trust me, I've been in some bad financial places throughout my life, and there's just we all go through them. It's just how we react to them. How are we going to overcome that?
Mhm. I love that. Thank you. I also want to share that, at the beginning I said, like, you're such a blessing to my life. I always say that you only need one person believing in your dreams, right? So, April, you were my first person that said yes to my coaching program, my 12-week coaching program, and I'm so grateful for that because as entrepreneurs, we have so many like self-doubts that we're dealing with. And when you have someone who really believes in what you're putting out, what you're creating, it really helps you propel forward faster. So, I'm going to be eternally grateful to you for that.
We've gone through a few evolutions with as your business has grown, and you know what? I do. I believe in what Timmy does. She's such a blessing to so many people, and I have just been honored to be part of her growth in her business, and to see her. It's like, okay, what are we doing next? And she has just, I want to support her the way that she supports me. And I think as women, we need more of that. So yeah, that's what it's all about.
Yes, April has seen it all, the beginning, the messy middle, and where we are today. We're, definitely on this journey together. April, should we do like a rapid fire round of questions? Because it's almost tradition when you're here.
Okay, let's do it.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Okay.
You can't take too much time to think about it. It's rapid fire.
Mm.
Okay. What is your favorite vacation?
When we went to Montana.
What
Yes.
did you love about it?
It was my husband and I and my best friend. We took. I love road trips. I think that's part of the process, and we stopped along the way. We saw so many different things. After being in the military for 20 years, I've seen so much of the world, but I haven't seen a lot of our country. So it was just, it was really, really great going out and seeing Mount Rushmore and the Badlands and Devil's Tower, and then we went up to Yellowstone and Glacier National. See, you told me short answers. I can't give you short answers if you ask for details.
That was just my curiosity because I've not been to Montana. So I was like, okay, I want to know why.
Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
It's beautiful. Okay. Ice cream flavor. Favorite ice cream flavor.
Mint chocolate chip.
Oh, favorite lip color.
Oh, that's tough. I've probably got 15 lipsticks in my purse. Right now, it's a plum.
Okay.
Yeah, Soho Plum is what it's called.
Okay. Very nice. Favorite app on your phone.
Favorite app on my phone right now, it's I can't remember the name of it, but right now I'm learning. I'm refreshing my memory on Italian, so it's a language app. I was trying to take Spanish and I wasn't dedicated to it, so and my Italian, because I was stationed in Italy for 3 years, so my Italian kept creeping into my Spanish. But I want to take our oldest granddaughter to Italy next year, so I'm brushing up on my Italian.
So cool. What's your favorite book?
Oh, goodness gracious. Chase the Line.
I have not read that.
Oh, so good. So
Okay.
good.
I'm going to add it to my list for sure. I'm always looking for recommendations.
Yes.
Okay. What's your favorite drink? What do you love to drink?
Non-alcoholic or alcohol?
April, wherever you want to take it.
In the wintertime, I drink White Russians. So that's my favorite drink in the wintertime. And I drink a lot of water, especially during the summertime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What is something that you do that you lose track of time?
Favorite activity, I lose track of time. I don't know. It was TikTok, and if you call that an activity, and I had to delete the app from my phone because I was I hate to say that. I was going down the TikTok hole and I was like, "Oh, I gotta get rid of this thing. This is addictive." So that wasn't a good is that an activity?
I guess so. I thought I was gonna hear you say walking because I get your voice messages in the morning when you're walking. They're like so beautiful. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to be walking and talking.
That's my reach out time. I love to walk, but I walk with our dog, so I have to be careful of where I walk. I can't go like out on the blacktop. We're, like I said, out in the country, so we've got gravel roads, and I can do that with her to a certain extent. But yes, I can't go on the blacktop because she has no fear of cars, so I can't get her on the blacktop. So I'm limited by her on that one.
Okay. What is a pet peeve of yours?
I have so many. Politics, I guess, is my biggest pet peeve.
Okay. Just don't talk about politics. Don't talk about okay.
No, because people get over passionate about politics and they forget that we're all human. We're doing the best we can. And politicians are no different, except they might be a little more self-centered than most of us.
Okay. April, what is one of your favorite quotes?
I think the one about, I've heard so many good ones. I like the one about the crown, but what comes to mind is, what's his name? He gets a lot of credit for a lot of quotes. If you can't figure out how to make money while you're asleep, you'll die broke.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Who's the older guy? The Hathaway. Oh, yeah. I'll have to send you his name.
Okay.
I know once I say it, you'll be like, "Oh yeah," but he gets quoted for all kinds of financial stuff.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, that name is not ringing a bell for me. Hathaway. I'm not.
Well, that's the company.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Stephen Covey, or no?
Well, no,
Okay. It's okay. Well,
I'll think of it, or I'll look at it. And you got me now. I'm gonna look at it.
okay. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. It's, you know, life's tough. It's tougher when you're stupid, but it's life is tough. And it's all gonna work out. I mean, I would have never, looking back, I would have never thought I would ever be in the place that I'm at now because life was rough.
April, I love that. I feel that especially women need to take this to heart, right? That we have to give ourselves grace, because I think we're so good about giving grace to other people, giving other people the benefit of the doubt, but we don't do the same for ourselves. And I'm so grateful that I have people like you, sisters like you in my life, in my community, where we are reminding each other of our own goodness, right? Because I think we forget to give ourselves grace. So I'm so grateful for that.
Yep. Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett. Okay.
I knew it would come to, well, actually, I looked it up. I cheated. Yes, and that is, I mean, we'll give each other grace, you're right, a lot faster than what we'll do ourselves. And, it's we don't first of all, we don't have to do everything ourselves. Point 1. The other people in your house can wash clothes, they can wash dishes, they can sweep the floor. They may not do it the way you do it, but that's okay. Let them do it. Don't ask them to do it and then supervise or tell them how to do it. Just let them do it and go on with life.
Mhm. I love it. All right, friends. I have loved having you here today. I feel like, the half hour flew by so fast. I can't believe it. But I just really want to thank you for being here, for doing the work that you do, for empowering women, for pouring into other people. And it's just such a blessing having you in my community and in my life. April, I will do this again sometime, right?
Yes, definitely. I am getting my YouTube channel up and, well, actually, my podcast up and running. And I definitely want to have you on because you are such a gift to me. And I want to share you with the world. So, look for Timmy on my podcast very, very soon if I can fit into her busy schedule.
Always have time for you. Wonderful. Would love that. Thank you so much. And we'll be back soon.
Bye.
Bye.